really gonna bother me. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a super fun video which will demonstrate to you all the seriousness of my book addiction, and that is a summer book haul. I'm going to be showing you all the books that I have hauled, most of them. I feel like there might be a few that I'm leaving out, but I can't remember. But I've got quite a few down here with me. It's probably better I don't put them all in because we might have a problem at that point. These are all books that I've hauled this summer that I've either gotten online through Amazon or another sort of book outlet or discount book website. Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and then have quite a few books that I have thrift hauled this summer, either from Goodwill, Savers, or other thrift stores that I've been to. So I thought I might go through with you guys what I have and let you in on some of the things that I have added to my TBR since the summer started. I know that we are not done with summer, and summer will go until September, but I am sure that there will be another chance for another haul because I don't plan on stopping buying books anytime soon, and I am sure that we will make our way to other bookstores before the summer is over. So we're gonna break it up a little bit. First, I'm gonna show you what books I picked up online. Usually the books that I pick up online are ones that I either haven't seen in the bookstore, they've been pre-ordered because they haven't come out yet, or I order them from my book club. I like to get them cheaper than sometimes I would at Barnes & Noble or another chain bookstore like that. So the first book that I got off of Amazon Prime is my book club book for the month, which is The Wife Between Us. This book is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I just started this one. I'm about 60 pages in already, which is good considering the amount of time that I have to read during the week. But yeah, so far so good. This is a thriller based on sort of a love triangle, except one couple is divorced. So far we follow our main character, Vanessa, who is the ex-wife of Richard, who is now engaged to Nellie. Nellie is younger, she's a preschool teacher, she's blonde, she's got everything that Vanessa thinks that she doesn't or had in the past but lost during their marriage. I'm not sure where this book is gonna go. I was told from the back of the book not to make any assumptions, so I don't know how much I spent on this. It was probably like $12. This one was a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones that I've bought lately. If any of you have read it already, don't give any spoilers, but comment below what you would rate it or what some of your favorite parts were, or if you liked it at all. The second book that I have hauled is another one of my book club books, and that is The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey. Her name is gorgeous. This one I did not finish. I DNF'd it only for the summer. I will make that clear. The writing thus far has been absolutely beautiful and amazing. Great story so far. We've met our two main characters, who are a couple living in the sticks of Alaska. They moved there together after they lost their baby. That loss has really devastated their marriage, and this book is about a little girl who I won't tell you much more about, also because I haven't finished it. A little girl and how she sort of brings their relationship back into focus. This one I think was about $6 in paperback, so it wasn't bad at all, and it is in really good condition, so I don't mind. The next read that I have hauled this summer is not one that I hauled myself, but it was a gift. Briar actually ordered me this one with no prompting whatsoever, which means that he knows me very well. That is David Sedaris's Calypso. I love the cover of this one. I think it's absolutely amazing. Critics are saying that Calypso is David's best memoir yet, which is hard to believe because there are a lot of good ones. This one though, I have found there is a lot more, I won't say devastating, but very deep and more sad content and theme-wise. David actually lost one of his sisters to suicide, and this book goes into a lot of detail about their relationship, and so far a lot about relationships with your family, relationships with your siblings, your significant others. It's very relationship based thus far, but still just as equally goofy and comedic, and it is really great. So if you haven't already picked this one up, you definitely should, especially if you've read other of David's books. And if you haven't read David Sedaris at all and enjoy a good memoir, then I definitely suggest him. He's one of my all-time favorites. I'm very happy to have this one. The last book that I hauled online this summer is one that I have been wanting to pick up for a long time. As you probably know, being a booktuber and being one who likes to explore YouTube, I have a personal YouTube channel, not that I post videos on, but that I just watch content on, and that's where a lot of my non-booktube related subscriptions go. Louise Penland is a mom who I follow. I hear you, Bab. On YouTube. She has been on YouTube for a very long time. I myself am not a mother, but she does a lot of lifestyle vlogging and blogging, and she is also a fiction writer. So I picked up her first book that she ever published, and that is Wild Like Me. I don't know much about this book. It says fresh, feel good, and very funny. This book will make you feel fantastic just for being you. I love the cover. This just reminds me of her and her daughter, who I think is absolutely so cute. It seems like a really good summer read. Alright, next up I have a bunch of books that I picked up from Barnes & Noble this summer. It just started pissing it down. We're supposed to get thunderstorms, so I didn't know it was going to start right now. Anywho, I never had a Barnes & Noble close to where I lived in New Hampshire. We always had a Borders when I was growing up, and I used to love going there. And then I believe Books A Million bought out Borders. I don't think Borders exists anymore. But Books A Million became my favorite place to go outside of like the local, like Annie's bookstop that I had near my house. I personally love Books A Million. I have a membership. I love their bargain book section. I've talked a lot about that on in some of my blog posts. So Barnes & Noble has always been kind of foreign to me. I've gone when I travel different places and have always enjoyed it, but now that I live in Worcester, that is really the only option that I have as far as big bookstores go. There aren't a lot of independent bookstores in Worcester, which is something that I think the city's really lacking. Maybe one day I'll have my own. One can dream. So these are all books that I picked up either with coupons that I got from Barnes & Noble. I'm a member there as well, which means that they send me all sorts of promotional things and seasonal coupons. A lot of these books that I picked up strategically, as I am trying to read everything that is on my TBR. The first one, which I know that I have mentioned in certain vlogs, is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the only book that I own by her, and it is the first book that I will ever read by her as well. I know that she is a very big deal, so I'm very excited to get into this. I know that we have a main character named Alina, I think it's pronounced. She has magical powers that she didn't even know she had, and this is sort of about her journey. Very excited to get to this one. I love the cover. I think it's very beautiful. I did pick up this one full price, which was $10.99, which is like nothing, and this is just a soft cover. I don't really have a preference, soft versus hard. I think soft cover is a lot easier to read, but I would then also love to have more hardcover on my bookshelf. The next book that I picked up from Barnes & Noble is one of the Barnes & Noble classics. I, as you know from past videos, have mentioned that I've been obsessed with retellings lately, but what I love about retellings is that they make me sort of relive my love for the original books and the original author's writing. I could not pass up this Barnes & Noble edition of The Wizard of Oz. I actually don't know if many people know that The Wizard of Oz goes past what we see on the movie. Frank L. Baum wrote tons and tons of Wizard of Oz stories, and Dorothy, her journey really continues. There's tons of characters that are introduced. So this actually covers the first 5 novels in all of the novels that he wrote while he was on his Wizard of Oz kick. Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, Ozma of Oz, which if any of you have seen Return to Oz the movie, that has a lot to do with that. And then Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz and The Road to Oz. Very interested in delving into all the other tales in this book. As you can tell, it's got the super pretty, almost sparkly green. It's got the green pages to go along with it. It comes with the bookmark inside, and that's what the back looks like. And the second one that I got that was half off with the purchase of The Wizard of Oz was the Barnes & Noble edition of the Grimm's Fairy Tales. I like how absolutely disgusting and creepy they are, and how at times very morbid. I told you guys I like the creepy stuff. This is no exception. Fairy tales to me are great because they're super short, not to mention the beautiful gold and blue. The spine is really amazing. And then this is the cover. It's totally worth it. Moving right along, the next book that I purchased from Barnes & Noble this summer was The Book Jumper, and this book is by Metchild. Oh god, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Y'all can figure it out for yourselves. This book is about a couple of characters who have the ability to hop into different books and sort of live out that world, which to me sounds absolutely incredible. It doesn't look like it's going to be much of a hard read, and it will be a great read, I think, for this winter when I'm all cozy and Stuck Inside. It's one of those things where I've never heard of it, but just reading the back gave me that little bit of information and I was sold. Alright guys, the next book that I picked up is not as much of a book, but more of a journal, and it is the Unme Book, a love journal. This I picked up just for something fun for Brian and I to do. Like I've mentioned in some vlogs and things like that, we are extremely busy during the week, so the time that we get together is really special and important, and I just thought this was something that we could do every once in a while just for fun. It's got a ton of different questions in it, really fun, like this page, how well do you know each other, record the response here, and then see how well they match up to reality. So different pages that sort of look like this, different activities that you can do together. Other ones that we have already done, like this one, it's a getting to know you, and it's all places. Favorite vacation spot, your favorite place to relax, your favorite fancy restaurant. Also has given us ideas as to where we want to vacation, what places in Worcester we want to go to, where are the places in the States we want to travel to as well, all sorts of different things. So it promotes us to conversate with each other about meaningful things other than work, and it is also very fun as well. Next up is a book that I am very excited to review for all of you, and that is Lost Boy by Christina Henry. This book is a retelling of Peter Pan, and it is the true story of Captain Hook. It involves our main character Jamie, or James, and sort of just from the very beginning his relationship with Peter Pan and the Lost Boys and the island. The book is a lot darker than I thought it would be, and ended up breaking my heart in more than one spot. So I do recommend it 100%. I think I would have to give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was very easy to read, but it involved a lot of adventure and everything that you would want in a summer read, so I'm glad I picked this one up as well. Second to last book that I picked up at Barnes & Noble was The Library of Auschwitz. I had originally picked up this book for Brian because he wanted to try to get into reading more nonfiction. Nope, he reads enough fiction. Oh my god. Because he was getting into, or was thinking that he wanted to get into reading more fiction, and this I thought was a close enough version to a nonfiction book about the Holocaust that he might get into it. It's an incredible story of a girl who risked her life to keep the magic of books alive during the Holocaust. I'm looking forward to getting to this. Again, I think more of a winter or fall read for me. The last book that I hauled from Barnes & Noble this summer is this guy here, The Science of Harry Potter. I read The Philosophy of Harry Potter and actually devoured it. It just had a bunch of essays and criticism. This book is along the same lines. It's breaking down the world of Harry Potter and sort of putting it in context of modern day science. Next up, I have a bunch of books that I picked up from Books A Million the last time I was in Portland, Maine. The first one I picked up is a continuation to my collection of a series that I really fell in love with, a retelling series called Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, and that is the Dorothy Must Die stories. This is actually, it's got 3 stories in it: No Place Like Oz, The Witch Must Burn, and The Wizard Returns. And I believe these are prequel novellas to the actual series which starts with Dorothy Must Die. I love these. I recommend them if you want something fun and if you're into retellings as well. It was a bargain, so why the heck not. Next, I picked up Anna and the Swallow Man, which is a book that I actually don't know much about. Also gonna be a winter read, as you can tell from the cover. It's got more winter themes in it. It takes place in November. There's snow on the ground. I wish there was snow on the ground, as you can tell. It's another sweaty day. The next book that I picked up is one that I haven't got to yet either. These are more like self-help books. I like to pull these out and pull some inspiration from them. So this one's by Shonda Rhimes. This one's called Year of Yes: How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun, and Be Your Own Person. So just something that I'll read every now and again. I don't know if I would read it all the way through in full. I think I might read bits and pieces at a time. Next is another YouTuber that I am obsessed with, and that is Tyler Oakley. I picked up his New York Times bestselling book, Binge. Binge is a memoir and it is absolutely hysterical. It'll give you a good laugh, that's for sure, and it will also make you think twice about thinking that your family's weird or your life is weird. He just makes you feel right at home. Just very impressed overall with his writing style. Next up is another book by Danielle Page, who wrote the Dorothy Must Die series, and that is Stealing Snow, which I believe is a Snow White retelling, judging by the title. Again, I'm just very into the retellings, and I'm so impressed with how they just break everything apart and form something new out of their own brains. And it is not as easy as it sounds. Props to all these authors who are getting them out there, and I'll buy them and support you until forever because It's right up my alley. Last book from Books A Million is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This book has been on my TBR for almost a year. I'm very, very excited, especially with the new release of Legendary, which I believe is a continuation of this series. The last category that we are going to touch upon is all the books that I thrifted this summer. Now I have to say that thrift store book hauls are my weakness because not only are the books super cheap and you can get more for your money, and I always am searching out, you know, if I'm missing one book from a series, I'll look for those at thrift stores because sometimes they are, like I said, a lot cheaper. And there's something satisfying about finding the last one. That's just me. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I end up leaving with piles of books and it only cost me $20, so I can't even feel guilty about it. It's the best of both worlds. Alright, so I don't want to keep you guys too long, so I'm just going to quickly go through these books. Some of them I picked up because I have heard of them, others I picked up because I read them as a child and love them and just need to have them in my collection. We'll just get right into it. The first one I picked up is Ophelia and the Marvelous Boy, which I'm not sure, it might even be like a middle grade book. It doesn't seem very long or very tough as far as reading level goes, but the story sounds amazing and super cute, and it will be a quick one that I can pick up over the weekend and get done. It's very mystical, it sounds, and I can get down with some magic. So, this one. The next book that I picked up at Goodwill was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I picked this one up because I read it last summer after I got it at the library and I totally fell in love with it. I hadn't been able to grab yet, so I was happy to find it in hardcover and for $1.99. Next is a book that I'm adding to a collection of a series that I have. I have Aragon, I have Eldest, and then I was able to find a hardcover copy of Brisingr. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, this one's hardcover, it was in great shape, and I picked it up for $1.99. Next are two memoirs. These are actually both memoirs on comedians. Of comedians that I've loved for a really long time. The first is called Born Standing Up by Steve Martin. Steve Martin is a comedian and a writer and an actor that I used to love watching with my dad. And the second is Ellen DeGeneres' Seriously, I'm Kidding. If you don't love Ellen DeGeneres, I'm sorry, but I don't agree. I think she's fantastic, and I know this is gonna make me laugh. So next is, I don't know if this is the whole series or if I'm missing one or two, but it is Inkspell and Inkheart. These are by Cornelia Funk. These are books that I loved as a kid. My mom had bought me one, I think it was Inkspell, when I was younger, and I had it for a long time, and then it got lost probably in a move or something, or I got rid of it at a yard sale. I feel like I did that a lot when I was little because I had no idea what I was doing. I picked myself up a copy of The Tale of Despero by Kate DiCamillo because her writing when I was younger was so amazing. She, I believe, also wrote Because of Winn-Dixie, which was a favorite when I was growing up. I picked up this one just for fun. If I ever need a read that I can finish in a day, this will be one of them because I think it's super sweet and I always loved her writing. The next is called Behold the Dreamers by, I'm not going to try to pronounce that either because I suck. This is going to be, I feel, a really heartfelt read. This book is about immigrants that are living in Harlem in the United States and sort of their struggles as a family and as individual people. I grabbed this because it's something different than the type of reading that I've been doing lately, and I can always go with a change. So I picked this up for $1.99 as well. Next is My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You I'm Sorry, and this is by Frederick Backman, who I feel comes out with a new book every other day. I have a couple of Frederick's books. I have Britt Marie Was Here, which I also found thrifting, and one other which I can't think of off the top of my head. I've heard such great things about this author, and this is just another one that I will have to add to my TBR. Alright, so the last book that I'm going to show you in my book haul today is a find that I can't believe happened. It was meant to be. I've wanted to buy this book for so long and I'm always putting it on the back burner, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I've not read this one either. As you can tell, I've got a lot of reading to do, but oh well. I've heard mixed reviews. I'll be excited to see what this book has in store. Alright guys, so that concludes my book haul for today. I'm sorry I kept it so brief. I didn't want to give too much away in case you guys are currently reading. I also have a lot of research to do as far as some of the books I picked up. I definitely look forward to filming more book hauls for you guys. I hope you guys saw some titles that you're familiar with, and you'll let me know down below what you thought of them. Let me know if there were any that you haven't seen or you'd never heard of before. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more videos and posting more bookish content for you guys every week, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye!